All right, in this video, we're going to be talking about when do I actually get paid when I'm selling my Amazon FBA business. So really exciting video, but a decent amount of things go into this as far as when you're going to get paid. And I'm going to lean on Ryan Condi. He is an M&A advisor with Quiet Light Brokerages. He has bought and sold FBA businesses personally, but he also advises on them as well. So Ryan, when somebody's asking you this question, like, hey, when am I actually going to get paid? When is that money hitting my bank account? When am I going to go crazy? Like, what do you tell them?
This is the fun part, right? Everybody, they build businesses, they go to an exit, and it's like, there's a lot of reasons to exit, but at the end of the day, there is a monetary aspect of it. That's buying freedom, buying financial opportunities, financial, just things that they can do down the road. So let's dive in, right? So how do you get paid? When do you get paid? We talked a little bit about going under LOI or getting an offer and getting a letter of intent. That's basically you go from dating to like, we're going to be engaged now. We're accepting this offer. You and I are going to, exchange this business. Okay. Due diligence. It's typically going to take 2 to 6 weeks, sometimes 2 to 8 weeks, depending upon the size of the business, the complexity of the business, the SKUs, those types of things, right? At the same time, sort of at the end of that or during the middle of that, after the first part of the initial due diligence is done, the most important part, the financial pieces, then you start going into the APA or the asset purchase agreement. So APA for short. And that's when your attorneys are going to get involved. There's going to be some back and forth. I've seen it take 2 weeks. I've seen it take 2 days. I've seen this take 2 months, right? Now, 2 months is a very complicated deal and it's overkill. So usually it's going to be plan on, 5 days to 2 weeks-ish, right? And then, right, so everything's wrapped up. You're ready to go. Your finish date is here. You are able to sign the APA, the asset purchase agreement. The next step that you have is the buyer is actually going to fund the escrow. What that means is similar to buying a house, you're putting money in a safe spot so you can exchange the assets, exchange the business, and then that's released to you. So buyer puts the money in escrow. The lawyers give you a thumbs up and say, hey, we've got hold of escrow. It's a third party here. Escrow is critical. I've seen businesses not use escrow. I like to use escrow. I recommend everybody uses escrow. At the end of the day, buyers don't want to give you the money and you don't want to give them the assets first. Nobody wants to be the first, but this allows you to have that money in a safe spot. Money's in escrow, you get the thumbs up. Now you're going to transfer the business over to them. You're transferring the seller central account. You're transferring the relationships with the suppliers, transferring the 3PL contracts, whatever you have there. This can take anywhere from 1 to 3 days on the quick end and really 3 to 7 days on the longer end, depending upon the size of your business and how many accounts that you might have, right? Once you've transferred everything over, Eric, then gives thumbs up to the attorneys over at Escrow. Escrow releases the money. They are going to send that over to you. And from there, right, that's when the transfer has finished. The buyer controls the business, controls all the assets. And then moving forward, the seller is going to continue on and continue to train. Training does not usually start or involve during the asset and migration or the asset transfer. The reason is because the new owner owns the business, and part of the contracts and part of the transfer period is that seller, you, to transfer that business and teach that person how to run that business from there on.
Okay. So if you were to give it a range, because there are a few ranges throughout this, what do you typically see for how long it takes from that LOI to that money hitting the bank account?
Yeah, usually it's going to take about 30 days on the quick ascent, right? And that's going to be for a smaller business or somebody who's paying all cash and very familiar with Amazon FBA businesses. Now, on the longer end, say you're doing a $10 million transaction, that due diligence process can be anywhere from 45 to 90 days, right? Or if you're using an SBA loan, it's going to be 90 to 100 days to 110 days, just because that bank process is going to take a long time.
Okay. And yeah, just as a reminder, if you haven't watched all the rest of the videos in this series, I highly suggest you go through it. We have picked Ryan's brain on every possible question when selling an Amazon FBA business. It's going to be well worth your time. Perhaps it's going to, inch up that multiple a little bit. You'll be that much more excited when you do sell your business. But we also have some free resources for you as well. The Exitpreneurs Playbook. There's a free copy in the description below. And if you haven't actually gotten an evaluation yet for your FBA business, there is a free valuation form that you can fill out, and it's completely free so you can figure out exactly what your business is going to sell for. So thank you guys so much for watching this series. And Ryan, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to go through this with us, answering all these questions and leaning on your expertise, because this is a huge moment for people in their life when they're selling their FBA business.
Thanks so much, Eric. And to all the sellers out there, I'm always happy to be a resource, love to be a sounding board, and I just love to see deals done. So no strings attached, but love to chat.
And can you give us your podcast as well? If people are interested in listening to that.
I have a podcast called Let's Buy a Business. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. So we dive into all things buying businesses, selling businesses. It's called Let's Buy a Business.
And if you're selling your first FBA business, I mean, this might just be the start for you. So listen to that podcast. You're going to get more insights. It's going to be well worth your time. All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next video, and good luck on the sale.